Hello beautiful people, I am Riley and today's video I'm going to be giving you some of my summer recommendations and also showing you my summer TBR. I'm not going to lie to you, pretty much every single book in this video is going to be a romance book, and that's just because I associate summer with romance. You know, the fun, exciting, like warm weather gives me the same feels as a cute, wholesome little romance. So if romance books are not for you, this is probably not the video for you, but if you do like romance, then I definitely recommend you watch. So I'm going to start off with the books that I am going to be recommending that you read this summer. So the first book is actually a series, and that is the Summer I Turned Pretty series. This is in pretty much every single one of these types of videos because obviously it's such a staple for summer. It is all about summer, being a teenager and having adventures in the summer, and it's a romance and it's cute and it's fun. And if you've never heard of these books, you've clearly been living under a rock because they're just so popular. And for a good reason, like they're such fun reads. But if you are going to read these, I do recommend you go into them not thinking they're going to be this beautiful piece of literature and that they're just going to be fun, cute romance reads, because that's what they are. But I'd still do really recommend them if you haven't read them before. Even if you're an adult, I read these last year in the summer and I had so much fun reading them. They just are so happy, and they're really frustrating because obviously the characters are teenagers and they're young teenagers. I think she's like 13 or 15 or something in the first book. And that makes you frustrated because they do things that teenagers do. So just know that that is going to happen, and these are not like perfect characters and perfect books, but I do still recommend them for the summer. The next book is Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and I don't actually know if this one is set in the summer, but it gives me such summer vibes. So if you don't know what this book is about, it's basically about this woman called Chloe Brown who is chronically ill, and it's resulted in her really shielding herself from life and not really doing much other than work and spending time with her family. So she decides to set herself a list of goals that she wants to achieve, and she makes this friend, Red, who helps her complete that list. And it's a romance and it's fun and exciting. And the reason that I think it feels so much like summer is because it is this big adventure for her. Like, going through that list and doing all of the things she wants to do is this huge adventure that she sets for herself. And I think that that's really what summer is about, right? We all try and do something exciting and fun in the summer because that's what the weather feels like you're supposed to be doing. So I do really recommend this for the summer, even though it's not really set in the summer. The next book is also not set in the summer. It's actually set in February, but it's set with warm weather, so it kind of just feels like a summer read anyway. And that is By the Book. This is one of my favourite books I read this year. I found it so cute and so fun. It's just a romance book. So it's about this woman called Izzy, and she is a editorial assistant at this really big publishing company, and she wants to like get up the food chain, you know, become like an actual editor. And to do that, to impress her boss, she goes to a really difficult celebrity's house and tries to convince him to start writing his biography because he's been postponing giving them anything for this biography, and he like refuses to respond to their emails, and the only information they get is from his manager or editor or something. I'm not 100% sure, I can't remember. But it is really cute romance read. It's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It's forced proximity and really fun. I really did enjoy this. I think the characters are really fun. The character development is really great as well. I just think it's a really fun, easy read. It's also really short, you know, it's like a really quick romance book to read, so I really do recommend this for the summer. The next book is a little bit of an odd choice to recommend for the summer, and that's The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, because it is such a thick book. It is such an odd book to read over the summer for me. I feel like in the summer you want stuff that's quick and fun, and although this is really long, it is really quick and fun. I think I read this in like 3 days, and this was when I just started reading and I'd barely read like 10 pages a day. I was a really slow reader. I didn't know how to get into books, and this book was just so easy to read and so exciting, and the characters are so fun that you just want to keep on reading. You just want to know what's going to happen with them. If you don't know the plot of this book, it's basically about this guy called Monty, and his dad wants him to take over their family business, but he doesn't want to. So he tells his dad he wants to go on this tour of Europe, and then once he gets back he will start the family business, like start working on the family business. And basically it's this really fun, exciting historical fiction where they meet pirates and they travel around Europe and all of these crazy things happen to them, and it's really fun and really easy, and I really do recommend it if you want like a fun, exciting, adventurous book. The next book you've definitely all heard of, because I don't think anybody in the whole entire world has not heard of this book, and that is Heartstopper. Although this is set in the winter, it is also a very good winter read. It's so fun and light-hearted and easy to read. that I think that it would be perfect for the summer. If you're just looking for something to take like on holiday or take to the beach for a day, because it's a graphic novel, it's pretty simple, you know, to go through. It doesn't require too much brain power, which I think is something that I personally look for in a summer read. And so I would really recommend everyone read this because it's just so cute and so fun. So I'm not going to tell you too much about the like plot of this because I'm pretty sure everybody has either watched the show or heard the plot from other people because it's just such a popular book. And the final book that I would like to recommend that you read this summer is actually my favorite book of all time, I think, and that is A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. This one is actually set in the summer. I love this book. So it's basically about this girl who is originally from, I think, California or Florida or somewhere in America that's like really hot and summery, but she moves to England for the summer after suffering 3 really big losses. Her best friend moves away, her grandma dies, and her boyfriend breaks up with her. And that's how you start the book. She's kind of grieving the loss of those 3 things. So she gets sent to live with her aunt for the summer. She owns this bed and breakfast in this little town that's kind of near London. It's just about her making friends and finding love and learning to love life again. It's a really cute, easy romance read. But it's not actually about romance. It's about friendship, and it's about life, and it's about, you know, just relearning yourself and relearning things that you love. And it's just so wholesome and cute, and I really do recommend it. And I think everyone should read this book in their life. It's just such a sweet read and so easy, and just it makes you feel so good. It's definitely in my top 5 books of forever, but it's probably one of my favorite standalones. Now I'm going to tell you about the books that I plan to read this summer, my summer TBR. 2 of them I actually don't have with me because they're packed in my suitcase for my holiday that I'm taking in a couple of weeks. But that is 7 Days in June and also Book Lovers. I am not going to tell you too much about the plots of each of these books just because I haven't actually read them yet, so I don't really know what an important plot point is to mention for each of the books that I'm about to tell you about for my TBR, but I just thought I'd mention those 2 because they are 2 books that I'm really looking forward to reading this summer, and I just don't have them with me. So the next one is Love Letters from Paris, which is basically this really wholesome romance story about a man who's just lost his wife, and she wrote him love letters to try and help him grieve the loss of her. And although it does seem like it might be a little bit sad of a read, I do also think that it is going to be very wholesome and a really sweet read, so I'm really excited to get to this summer. The next book is Love and Gelato, which I've seen everywhere. I've been seeing this for so long and I finally bought it. It just screams summer to me. I mean, it is about something so summery. Love and gelato are both very summery things to me, so I do think that it's going to be perfect for the summer, and it is just this cute YA romance. I honestly don't know that much about it, but I've just heard a lot of really good things. Yeah, I do really look forward to reading this. The next book is Gwen and Art Are Not in Love. I got this a month ago or something, and I mainly picked it up because the colour was so pretty and I just thought it looked so good. But since buying it, I've seen some really good things about it. It's a queer YA romance, and I think that that just screams summer to me. Like, you know, new love and fighting against the odds. This is set in the Renaissance era, I think. Obviously there's knights and stuff, so they're going against the odds by having these queer relationships, and I just think it seems so exciting and fun and just like such a sweet romance read for the summer. The next book is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I have to read as many Sarah Adams this summer as I can because I love her books. They are so fun and exciting, and they just make me so happy. I love how she writes. I love her characters. I love her stories. I think they're just such easy reads and such like light-hearted books to read. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. This is actually a buddy read for me and Maddie, so hopefully she'll agree to reading this at some point this summer because honestly it just seems so sweet. It's a romance where this girl basically she wants to go to Rome, but she doesn't really have the chance to go to Italy, so she goes to this town called Rome in America. I think that's like the whole thing. I'm honestly not sure. I basically saw this, was like, oh, it's Sarah Adams, I've got to buy it. So very excited to read this, even though I have like no clue what's going to happen in it. I just know I'm going to love it because it's Sarah Adams and I love everything that she writes. And the final book I'm going to talk about in this video is Love from Scratch, which is this cute YA baking romance. It's a rivals to lovers story about this girl who gets a baking internship, and she goes like across the country, and I think she's only like 17, 18 when she does this, and it's this big adventure for her, and she ends up falling in love with the guy who she's kind of like a rival with, and she doesn't really like him when she first meets him. It just seems so cute and so fun and exciting and summery, and I know I've said that about like everything, like, oh, it's so cute and exciting, but that's what I want to read this summer. I love like exciting, cute books to read in the summer. It fits so perfectly with the weather and just the feeling of summer. So I'm really excited to read this. I think it seems really lovely, and like it also seems like a really easy read, even though it's like, you know, not that short of a book. It seems like it's going to be really quick as well. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this one as well. So yeah, those are all of the books that I recommend you read this summer, and all of the books that I plan to read this summer. Please let me know if you've read any of the books I talked about today, and whether or not the books that I've said for my summer TBR are something that you think that I should read, or if you think that there's another book that I should add to my summer TBR, please let me know. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!